That's the question. Appear to be working. Chat. So there we go. Hello, one and all. Ooh, hello. No one's out there, so I'm talking to myself. And it's Valentine. But okie dokie. It looks like everyone's turning up.
I'm not here. It's a bit loud.
Everyone was complaining I was quiet, so now I'm enunciating to the back row.
No, I couldn't get Discord to work, so I'm like, oh, I can't hear him, so I'm turning it up, and then it started working, and it blew my eardrums out.
It's not enunciating to the back row, Doswalk, it's projecting.
Projecting, I know.
Yeah, you stand totally correct.
Yes, engage your core, use the diaphragm.
I sit here completely admonished.
I don't want you to use your diaphragm, Tav. You might actually break the speakers.
Well,
do you believe where we left it last time? Yes, you squashed a plant with a body inside it.
we did.
I think we might have that body somewhere. Did, but not. That one anymore? That one.
So Jimmy's holding up a train, I take it.
Looks like it.
He's always holding up trains. He's addicted to holding up trains.
I have to say that I like the changes they made to the character advancement tab. Very nice.
I haven't noticed. I haven't looked.
The buttons, so you can switch things on and off.
Ooh.
The buttons have been out a while.
And then the move up down as well.
Move up down. So I've just noticed the move up down. So that's quite nice.
That's good.
Yeah, and you can click on the plan button to hide and reveal the planned advances without having to go into settings.
Can you? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you can turn off the planned and the starting so that all you have is just the advances showing.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's much better.
Right, okay. I'm glad somebody reminded me that because I need to change this, don't I?
You changed what?
It's okay. Nothing to see here.
Has he put his underpants on top of his head and shoved 2 pencils up his nose?
Possibly.
Oh yes, the green snot man thing.
Is that what came out when he removed the pencils?
And he reset Benny's boo.
Reset Benny's. I reset Benny's the start of every session.
So that could be painful. Almighty, because I was trying to get Discord to work. I'm way behind.
I need to do something.
Needs to go there.
I made a table. Okay. Remind myself how that works. So anyway, what are you up to? You're in the house.
I didn't hear what was going on out front because I'm up in that back bedroom.
should maybe get that inside, Mr. Hong.
We're not all running for the front door because we were searching the house, and the next thing Mr. Wang ended up flying through the window and landed in the garden.
He did, and he landed on that.
I was. Is he okay? Did he break his neck? Let's run to the garden and find out.
Well, I was at the door anyway. You all right there, Mr. Hong? What the very devil have you landed on? What on earth is that?
I don't know.
Well, perhaps we should take it inside before anybody else sees. We wouldn't want the neighbours to be worried now, would we?
Was that English? Probably not.
Oh my god, it's the talking Aspidistra from the adventure game. There's a reference from the past.
Right, the Emperor? In which
Yes.
case, I think we need to say Gronda Gronda.
Grunda, indeed.
What, the biggest aspidistra in the world?
No,
one's
of
getting
course.
it.
But
That
he,
was
but
that
he,
TV show, wasn't it?
Yeah, the adventure game. The first two series are very good. The third series was really weird. The DVD box set.
Officially, no idea what I'm doing.
starring Moira Stewart.
Indeed.
Right, okay, so we are on 5.
And the guy with the thing in his ear so he could hear stuff.
No, he put the thing in his ear so he could see stuff.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was it.
What? I'm too tired for this.
And there was the vortex.
Indeed.
Never seen that show. I just made all that up.
So you're carrying the body inside the house.
Yes.
I mean, but is it just wiggling on the ground, or is it trying to? Is it?
No, it's a bit
I was-
squashed.
Yeah, I'm going to take it in and put it on the dining room table.
Does
Okay.
it ooze off the edges?
Probably, yeah.
It looks very oozy.
Mm.
And I don't mean like an automatic weapon.
It's probably also I didn't get a chance to properly colour it, but it's
Just
completely
woken
green.
up
It doesn't
and
have
come
any fresh
downstairs
colour
and
stuff.
see you not carting a body round. Can anyone tell me?
And just so that everybody knows, no, this is not lunch. This is not a Chinese specialty.
Well, no, if we wanted those, we'd go to the Chinese restaurant in the town now, wouldn't we?
Maybe they'll buy it off us.
I very much doubt it. What's strange is, it's strange, very indeed. I got to wonder if this is something to do with why Agent Reeg has gone missing. I mean, certainly we still need to follow up with that Ghost Steel gang, but Miss D and I have at least another show to do tonight before we can spend too much time out in the wilds trying to hunt down bandits. That being said, well, Mr. Watt, you're the scientist. Can you tell exactly what this is? It seemed to be, well, growing in the garden, but certainly the lower arms look, well, rather human, though. If I recall rightly from what the Games Master said last week, this thing is only about 3 feet tall.
So far, scientifically, I've deduced it's green.
Well done.
I'm not
You
entirely
are-
sure it had anything to do with
Right.
science, more to do with optics.
You're quite the scientist there.
Perhaps you might be able to tell us something a little more less obvious.
And you're quite the linguist, Paddy. I'm going to poke it with a knife.
Well, poking it with something is one way to find out things. I mean,
Well, it's
I could tell you that it's vaguely humanoid. It's got Caucasian-covered skin on its lower arms, and the rest of it's
No.
green. But
The GM just said that he meant to colour that green as well.
All green. So
It's all
that's
green.
that green flower
I-
pod you found last week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's meant to be all green. I just didn't. I didn't have time to colorize the arms green.
I see. Honestly, I mean, it looks like a great big load of flubba dabba dabba dabba.
When did you last get any sleep, Paddy?
Well, it did come out of a flower pot. I wonder if it's called William.
Sweet.
I don't know. Maybe that hole in the back of his head is giving him a problem.
Greed.
Is it an alchemist?
Well, it is made of purest green.
You
Purest
get a joke
green.
because on the other stream it's a Spelljammer and my character it looks like that.
Well,
Right.
that's
Take a picture of my
exactly what
This is
your
not
character-
This one isn't translucent.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna poke at it. Well, I'm gonna do an occult roll. It might not tell me anything, but it might. So
I'm actually going to try a weird science. I've
Well, I've
got. I
already
think this is,
poked a hole in it to see what it looks like on the
well,
inside.
I get a funny feeling it's because Ghost Rock's buried in the ground, isn't it? And it
Mhm.
mutated and made the piano
You know
dance,
what?
and
There
then
was
it summoned the gate to hell. So does it make everything? I mean, does that mean you see the house is all warpy?
there was a shovel in the basement, which I'm going to go and get. Then I'll go back outside and dig up the remains of the plant that it came out of the pod from, and bring that into the dining room as well. So we've got the plant it came out of.
who's moving my icon around?
Sorry, that was me. I thought I was moving me, not you. There you go. There's me. Gone outside and come back in again.
I don't look like a 60-year-old white-haired guy. Thanks.
It's the hat. He was mixing up the hat.
It was. I was mixing up the hats. I was zoomed out enough. I was just going by the hat. Right. So that thing came out of this thing, which Mr. Hong fell on top of. It broke his fall quite nicely, though. I will give it that.
There you go.
Falling out the window anyway.
I have now corrected it.
What?
The image.
So it's all still. It still looks the same.
It's all green now.
Not on my screen, it isn't.
Not on my screen either.
What the hell? I've just done a refresh.
Well, take it away and share. Oh no, it's still got.
Flip's sake. Okay, I did an asset refresh and it updates for me, but it hasn't updated for you. Like, okay, hang on.
But if you stop sharing it and then reshare it,
Yes,
it might push it out.
that's what I was thinking.
No.
No. What you have to do is you'll have to change the file name and then share it so it comes out as a different file. Because it's saying, "Oh look, I've got this file," and the client's going, "Yes, I know, I've got it."
Oh, okie dokie. And then I should hang on. How about that?
No.
No.
Was it on a layer? Make sure you got all the layers shared.
Delete. Assets.
He's turned into a Cyberman.
Make sure you got the layer that's got the green thing on it shared.
Make sure you tie a knot in a handkerchief and hop
DM
in one
only.
leg.
No, we won't see it.
And send the right pigeon.
That's
There we go.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
See-
you have to rename the file. It would appear.
Yes, rename the file and then the client will go, "Oh, I don't have that image. I'll grab that."
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so back to
Life?
here.
Back to reality? No.
I was thinking exactly that.
So was I. Whatever do you want it?
No,
No.
if Facebook will remove one, if Sony can get Facebook to remove a video just because we're talking and they can get away with claiming it's copyright infringement when we're talking about spell jabbing.
Slightly Bart fast. Slightly Bart fast. Slightly Bart fast.
I dread to see what they do if you actually start singing songs. Can't believe that. It's like
Right.
2.5 hours in, they claim my spell jamming game was infringing on their copyright of a
Yeah. You mentioned
meditation music.
Well, if you will be spell jamming it till the break of dawn. I don't know.
Okay, which one of you two decided it was a great idea to remove all the hair and hat from a dolphin?
Me.
Okay.
That's what he looks like when he's not in costume.
That's just weird.
It's a fake moustache.
I didn't know that. That's just
Didn't know
weird.
that. Okay, so we've had some occult rolls, we've had some weird science rolls. Do you know what? I'm not sure what it's going to tell me. Okay, so inspecting the plant. Okay.
Yeah, so the current theory is he buried a 666 ounce of ghost rock in the basement, and weird things have been happening in this house. This is the second visit to the house, and it's unnatural. By the way, is this like the only thing? Or something else appeared in the house whilst we've been away? Is this progressively getting worse?
I certainly hope not.
Advances tab got a big update, didn't it?
Well, if it isn't a matter of the ghost rock having mutated,
I mistyped that, but you know what I'm trying to say, don't you?
if it's related to just a simple mutation from proximity to ghost rock, it's possible because the ghost rock in concentration seem to thin the veil between our world and the hunting grounds. It might be something that escaped through there.
But if that were the case, I mean, it was kept up in Heaston's house for quite some time before Agent Reed liberated it, and we've done with it what we've done with it. So presumably, if that kind of thing's happening because of that, then it will happen in Heaston's house as well.
Yes, it may be
Maybe a what?
Someone said they wanted to cut it open, didn't they?
I'm not cutting anything open. I'll just stand by and watch you.
Well, we can cut it open. We've got a toolkit to do stuff like this, so we can cut it open.
If you guys are going to be doing dissecting stuff, I'm just going to step into here. And I'll yell to Sophie, "Hey, Sophie, did you ever go through this desk in here?"
That's a good idea. The ladies with the more delicate sensibilities perhaps shouldn't be seeing this, because it's not the kind of thing that they can stand.
Thankfully, I can't hear him from the pantry.
He's going to end up with another hole in his head to match the first one.
I'm just being polite. I'm giving you a good reason for you leaving while this is happening.
Well, while they're poking around that body, I've stepped into the study. I'm gonna poke around the desk, and it seems like that would have been the place Len would have left with any notes or anything.
In the study, okie dokie. I think there's a small study table nestles behind the dining room and the stairs. It holds a threadbare green and blue upholstered chair, a table, and an oil lamp. A small bookcase stands against the wall, mostly classic literature and drama. Okay. Give us a notice check. In the meantime, if anyone's performing the autopsy, this body doesn't bleed. Oh, the body doesn't bleed, but it seeps a thick white sap with a heavy, cloying odor like fresh pine pitch. Also,
presumably noticed when I stabbed it.
Also, oh yeah, exactly. Also, obviously, once you cut it open, you do notice it does appear to be the whole insides of it do appear to be laced with sort of moon rock particles. Moon rock, ghost rock.
What you were on about then?
It's got ghost rock running through what it's got that sort of passes for veins.
Indeed. But other than that, it appears to be just, although it appears humanoid in shape, it appears to be a plant.
I'm not entirely sure we should keep the remains around here.
Okay, that's quite a scary thing that just popped up in chat.
John, what gained or eater?
Aye, by the way, so what does it taste like?
He's decided to take that very dodgy edge where you actually eat ghost rock. Which isn't as bad as drinking spook juice, but not much better. Okay.
Yeah, so I couldn't think of the edge to take, and I was going to take Ironbound, but it involved shopping, so I thought, oh my god, I'm not going to do shopping. So I thought, yeah.
It's easy to powder a crush and sprinkle it into his favourite whiskey or spread it like salt over his victuals.
So let's carry on the trend of this character going slowly, ever so slowly going batty as we get worse.
Wow, it gives you 5 power points.
And
Well,
I can re-roll on the roll as well.
Might I suggest we dispose of this in much the same way as we did with the nugget of ghost rock that wasn't in here with us, and we should have a look out for any other plants of this kind elsewhere around the town, perhaps. Because if we are seeing any more plants that are growing people in them, that's quite a worrying thing.
Right, I still don't know what it is, other than it's a plant shaped like a person that happens to be green and tastes like peppermint. But other than that, I don't know.
I remember something from what was it? Let me just go and get that bit of paper. Yes, here it is. Went back to the dance hall to speak with Clovis again, but he was in his cups and even less coherent than last time. At one point, he didn't realise I was watching him, and he looked at himself in the mirror as if seeing his own face for the first time. I don't know. I mean, there's a person growing in the garden, sort of. Well, it's a plant, but it's person-shaped. And, well, Mr. Hong did land on it before it was fully grown. I mean, do you think it could have got to full size? As in, look, the size of a proper person rather than a small person that's green, and then gone not green, maybe, perhaps. I mean...
Well, the thing is, right,
Well said there.
So other than what's the deal here? Is it? Do you think it's like a replacement person?
Only for the people who aren't only for the people who are trying to whisper but not.
Right.
Yeah, I screwed it up. Oh well.
It's okay.
Well, I am wondering.
I mean, you've got 2 choices. It's a notice -4 check to work out what it is inside the cloudy yellow liquid, or of course, open it, pour it out, and then you get a nice easy look.
Yeah, I think I'll just open it and pour it out.
Juan did do a basic autopsy on this thing.
Yes.
Does it have organs and such? I missed that.
It's a plant.
It's a plant.
Okay, then
It's got chlorophyll.
I'm not sure burying it is the best option. There are a lot of plants that only need just a little bit to be able to grow.
Well, then perhaps we should just burn it then.
I'm not in town, but yes, I would agree with that.
Well, funny you should say that, right? Because the stuff that was in the cellar, obviously, because we chopped it up, and I've been burning it to reduce the amounts, because obviously it opens gates, and I've now I've started smoking the stuff. It's it's fine, totally fine. So we could barbecue it. Why don't we just barbecue the thing?
It was.
Did you just?
By the way, it should be pointed out as he says all this, he is chewing on a bit of the plant.
I'm going to reach out and take the bit of plant out of his mouth and say, I'm not entirely sure we should eat the stuff until we're certain that it's safe. And did you just say you were smoking ghost rock?
Nah. Well, no. Well, sort of. Aye. But anyway, that's beside the point. So,
Just a moment. Is nobody else going to step in on this? You're all to me all the time about your deed, and you know you are. But this fella says he's eating ghost rock, and I'm the only one that thinks that might be slightly out of the ordinary.
I just tasted
Oh
it.
no! I think it's out of the ordinary. I just have given up on it. You and him
notice
and
checks from everyone except Mercy, please.
Mercy and her spirit gun finger.
Even including me, with where I am.
Yes, but I'll get you've got a -2 penalty. Because it is nasally based.
Oh, well, I'm cleaning the gunk and mold out the pantry, but
Obviously, it's
apparently
okay.
God.
So
it's come through the wall.
Okay, so Mercy, your vigor roll is because you're in the same room as it, and therefore it's almost overpowering. But everyone else, you just all of a sudden discern a very strong pickle-like odor emanating from the study. And as you look towards the study, there does appear to be fluid pouring across the.
What the very is that? God!
Okay. If you head into the study, the smell of the pickling the pickling fluid smell is it's obviously
Formaldehyde.
Yeah. Is overpowering in this room. However, in the middle of the emerging puddle, of which Mercy Vancouver is standing, still holding an upended glass jar, appears to be a mass of flesh. As you stare at it, details start to come out. You notice tiny fingers and toes. To get the impression it's a pickled child.
Please tell me that's not.
Hang on, reverse back and repeat. I mean, what they pickled the plant?
Anyone who wants to make a healing check or a science check at -2 while examining the body can do so.
I have neither of these skills, so I'm not going to bother.
So that's a 5. And that's a 6. So okay, you already put it on. That's an 8.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. I apologise. Okay. However, Mr. Watt and Huang, you deduce that in fact, actually, it is not a child. It appears the thing's proportions suggest that it is in fact an 18-inch tall human adult.
So is this was in the plant?
No, that was in the bottle that Miss Vancouver decided it was a really good idea. What the hell is that smell?
I turn around behind me and open the
Thank you very much, Mr. Money. A very good idea opening those windows.
Indeed. Open the windows, yeah.
It's amazing that a dead man has a sensitive sense of smell.
If I were dead, I think I'd still be able to smell that. It's vile.
So what is it?
Some kind of pickling liquid, I think, is what's making the smell. Oh. Unless you mean the thing that was in the liquid.
Yeah, basically, because I'm pretty sure the liquid's formaldehyde. They use it to preserve, like organs and body parts and in those science schools back east.
Right. Okay. Right. So this is a different body.
Yeah.
In addition, Juan, you can make out what you believe to be a gunshot wound on the 18-inch tall.
So I take it then he must have stole the rock, planted the rock, it started going weird, and then some pod little being came in into the house to investigate it. He shot it and then thought, that's weird, I'm going to pickle it and find out what it is as part of my investigation.
I'm looking through here for notes, but I haven't found much.
I suppose it could have been. But I think without either finding Mr. Reeg or more evidence about his passing, we're maybe not going to find out. I'm sorry. I need to not be in this room. Oh, that's horrible.
He's going to blow chunks.
Right.
So, yeah. So we've got the key to his safe.
Well, we didn't really need it. I opened the safe. We got everything.
We managed to open the safe anyway. But he was an agent. He was obviously, that was his agent gear. So I thought that it was, who was it? The Hendersons was the bad people who were going to stake a land claim. But he must have been investigating something else. Because what's the wee midget guy?
Well, that is a good question.
He must have come investigating the claim jumping, and then he's discovered something else that's horrible.
Now, does this 18-inch humanoid, does it look like a human being as we know them, or it's just humanoid? Is there any feature about it that wouldn't be something that we associate with a normal human other than its size?
Well, here's the thing, you see. That plant, I believe it was identified as being related to an aspen, if I'm not fully mistaken. And what are the reasons?
Using colloquial terms of the period and all of that? As far as you can tell, it looks like an engine with unnaturally contorted.
Engine.
Now, Agent
I
Reeg.
can't remember what the politically correct term is these days.
First people.
Native American. But yeah, we call them engines in this day and age, Westworld.
Agent Reeg's primary reason for coming to you into county was, if I remember rightly, investigating a number of folks that had gone missing in the Quake and Aspen forests to the east of Heaston Hill. Now, if that fella that he said didn't recognize himself, he was investigating him, and we've got a person growing in an aspen-like plant in the garden outside where Agent Reeg was living. I'm wondering if we need to investigate that forest.
I was going to say, you just mentioned engines. Yeah, I love engines. Yeah, the Rock 125, it's a fate as a grace engine, It's got a good coat. It's got inbound gold bunker on it. It's great.
I think you're mixing up engines and engines. I might be wrong, though.
It felt like you earned one. You've all earned one by this point. So
We earned some pennies.
I still think we should certainly follow up with the Ghost Steel Gang. Now, while I'm quite literally out of my territory, being as I am in the territory, my badge still holds a little bit of weight since I'm looking into this missing person of Reeg, and he was last seen with the Ghost Steel Gang. I could go and ask the Marshal for information on them, but I'd really rather not play my hand openly in the town. Perhaps Miss Vancouver or Mr. Money certainly look more the bounty hunter type. At least get information on what the Ghost Steel Gang are wanted for, perhaps.
That's a good idea.
And meanwhile, Miss D, if you wouldn't mind joining me in the parlour, I've got an idea for a slight change to the act this afternoon. I'm thinking maybe we could play off the legend of the Headless Horseman, and I think that if we set up some fishing wires just right, we can have some ghostly spirits floating around, which And then I can produce some paper skulls, which, if we tear apart, can make the spirits collapse, and we can tell the story of how we defeated them. What do you reckon to that?
I think we might need a little more time to prep, but the idea's all right.
Oh, we won't need that much time. It's all just variants on some of our normal tricks, just dressing them up a little bit differently.
Well, show me what you got in mind, then.
So wait, Patrick. What are we gonna do about all these bodies here? We can't just leave them laying.
Chop it
There's
up,
a-
make some vegetable soup.
The plant one you can get burned. Whoever it was that decided to tip the one out of the jar can clean that mess up themselves, I'm sure.
Compost heap.
By the way, so if you wanted to know about the gangs, there's a notice board outside the sheriff's office. It's got all the wanted posters on it, if anybody noticed.
Well, I was expecting that to be there, but I thought, if Mr. Money and Miss Vancouver went and took a look at them, they do look the sort that would go hunting people for money.
Yeah, I reckon we could do that, but I think first of all we should just burn these two bodies, or this thing and that body. What's the
It'd be a
best?
good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to burn them. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to go out, put them in the back garden, start a fire, and burn both of them.
So, which one? You light a fire. Which one are you putting on the fire first?
I'm putting the little engine on the fire first.
Okay, you put that on. You put that on the fire first. I'm not entirely sure what happens. It's full on. I don't think formaldehyde's flammable, is it?
I'm going to stand there sniffing it. I'm going to stand back.
Obviously,
it's only a little tiny baby human thing.
So
I'll lob it.
yeah. So obviously, lob that one in, no problem.
Then I'll lob the other one in, and then if it starts steaming, I'm going to run away quick.
The other one's about 3. The other body's about 3 feet tall.
Formaldehyde is a combustible solution.
Okay, yeah. So there is a noticeable whoomph as you throw the body on because it's been pickled in it for quite some time. Pardon me. However,
while it's doing that, while that flame is vigorous, I'll throw the green thing on as well because it's
Okay, second you throw the green thing on, then the screaming starts.
Is it a ghost? Is it a ghost rock scream?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it squeaks a bit. Don't panic.
I'm going to cover my ears and walk away. I think. Yeah.
When you burn ghost rock, it screams. Some people say it's the very souls of hell scream.
Could be. It probably is. Yeah.
Of course, it's absolutely rubbish.
Where is this fireplace at? Because by this time, because I've still
He's burning it out back.
Okay.
Oh, and it's on the U of Buckle's house. That's where the fire is.
It's that probably be on the street. You probably want to do it out the back, to be honest.
Oh, right, okay. Then it's between the R and the R of upper floor and ground floor.
That sounds good to me. Okay. Because I love the fact that mufflers in Hell on Earth, mufflers are there to stop the sounds. Mufflers are there to stop the scream when you burn spook juice. Otherwise, when they first worked out how to turn ghost rock into spook juice, the cars were driving down the street. You didn't have engine sounds. You just had the cars screaming as it went. They invented mufflers to quieten them down. All good stuff. Right. So, are people heading to the marshal's office? Is it a sheriff? It's a marshal, isn't it?
Yep. Let's go to the marshal's
Sheriff's
office.
county and marshal's a town, isn't it? That's how it works.
Aye, so I remember there was a set of posters there, and because there's 3 gangs in there.
There is. Page 36. It's much easier to use.
Ghost Rock Steel Gang, the Sage Dragons, and the Little Rocky Regulars, according to the landowners.
Mm-hmm. But it's the Ghost Steel Gang that we're interested in.
Board outside the office is plastered with wanted posters, new ones nailed or pasted right over the old ones. The most current ones are for the sidebar. Okay, so 3 major outlaws. Okay, so the Ghost Steel Gang. When you get to outside the marshal's office, the Ghost Steel Gang's wanted alive for cattle rustling. Bud Ghost Steel Belloch, I should say, $2,000. John Jacob White, $500. Agnes Scarlett Kenny, $500. Dr. Seamus McLoone, $500. Octavio Contreras.
Until you got to the last two, I thought it was a bit like a game of Cluedo. Everyone's name had a colour.
Mm-hmm. Only two.
We're
Well,
playing
so-
Deadlands the Weird West, aren't we?
Yes.
I just want to because there's so many versions of Deadlands. I want to know which one I'm playing. Yeah.
There's only two Savage Worlds versions. Deadlands Reloaded. Deadlands the Weird West. And then Deadlands Classic, which is the non-Savage Worlds version. There's only 3 versions of Deadlands. It's not that confusing.
No, there's more than that.
This is only the second. This is only the second version. Deadlands Weird West is only the second version of Deadlands for Savage Worlds. Deadlands Reloaded originally came as one hardback book, and then they split it into a
deluxe.
Marshal's Guide. They split it into a Marshal's Guide and the Player's Guide. It
Yeah,
was
but
still
if
Deadlands Reloaded, and then you have
but
Deadlands Classic, which is the
Reloaded
original.
Reloaded was reloaded from the original.
That's what I said. The original Deadlands Classic, but that wasn't Savage Worlds.
Yeah, and then there was Deadlands Hell on Earth and Deadlands Far
Yeah,
Away.
but
And
we're not talking
Lost
about
Colony.
those. Yeah, there's Lost Colony, there's Hell on Earth, there's Deadlands Hawaii. Sorry, I thought we were talking pure Deadlands here, not all the others. And the one I'm still waiting for, Deadlands Dark Ages.
Yeah, so I said Hell on Earth is set in the modern times. It's all gone Mad Max.
Hell on Earth
Because
set in the future.
we're lost and the bad guys win, so it all turns into Mad Max.
Hell on Earth is actually set in the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hell on Earth set in the
Near
future. It's
future,
all
but yes.
post-apocalyptic, and the bad guys.
You
win.
haven't
It's-
updated your Deadlands, have you, Kevin?
We haven't updated my Deadlands.
We're showing Fan the Hammer and Improved Fan the Hammer as the wrong way round for you.
Well, you know what happens for mine. It doesn't update if I never work.
Too many versions running, haven't you?
Yeah. So yeah, then you've got Deadlands Noir, which is 1927, 1930, 1950, and whatever, and 1920s is Noir itself.
Yeah, that's the version when it rains. It's a hard rain in a hard city.
I think the New Orleans is set in the 1920s, isn't it? In actual Deadlands Noir. But anyway, and that doesn't have weird science. That has patent science.
It does.
Patent science, I should say. And then Hell on Earth has Junkers. And Lost Colony has... Well, they used to be called something else, but they're now Breakers, aren't they, in the Savage World? Classic version, it all broke. So there we go. But yes, in answer to your question, this is Deadlands Weird West. So, yeah. So anyway, as I say, it's notable to note that the Ghost Steel Gang are wanted.
Wanted for
Cattle rustling.
Is that where they go through fields making rustling sounds and saying moo?
Yeah, chasing cows with packets of crisps.
Basically, it's stealing cattle.
Yeah.
Although they try to find the unbranded ones, because branded ones, even if you change the brand, if you kill the cattle and remove the hide and turn the hide inside out, the original brand can still be read. Thank you, Louis L'Amour.
Well, West, though, the horse was very important, wasn't it? I think that's why it was. Even stealing horses was taken lightly. And I just noticed someone dropped.
me, my computer just suddenly decided the internet didn't exist. I've had to reboot.
Funny how the internet stops existing from time to time for computers and everyone else as well sometimes. Anyway.
Modern technology is amazing.
It is really, but yes, I know what you mean.
Well, yeah, the technology is amazing. It's just the infrastructure is not.
I know. Okay, so so that's the poster. The Ghost still going on the board outside the marshal's office. As I say, you note that the gang isn't wanted for murder and thus is sought alive. So you can
I think
ask the
this
marshal
town
about it.
has somewhat bigger problems than cattle rustlers, frankly.
The league. Okay, so obviously that's all very well, but the poster doesn't tell you much. Might have to do some form of networking around town to see some information. What's everyone else up to while these two are off staring at the poster?
Well, I'm practicing the show for tonight so that we can tell the tale of how the hollows have been cleansed.
So am I.
Going to go to the general store and I need to buy some tobacco.
Okay, no problem at all. You can.
Is that cut with your ghost rock?
It's complicated, right? So anyway,
It will be. It will be. It isn't yet, but it will be.
Right, so yeah, I was going to go buy some tobacco, and whilst I was in, I was going, "Oh, nice weather we're having this time of year and all this." And by the way, do you know what they like local gangs? Oh, isn't it terrible?
You're going for the nice way persuasion, are you?
Yes, and the price of cheese out of Mongolia is terrible.
Are you just asking, or are you sort of offering financial assistance to your questions?
I will offer some financial assistance.
Where's your character sheet?
I don't know. I can always go and get more if you want.
Why have you got $112.95 written separately from the other stuff?
I have
I
no
have
idea.
too, because for some reason it's gone into a different part of the character sheet when you added the money.
No. Hang on. Let me check yours.
I probably had money left over.
Yeah, I just can't work out why. Yeah, it's sort of doing weird, but it's got the numbers outside the boxes, hasn't it?
The
Yeah, but
184 that I've got to
it's probably been me dragged at the very beginning when things were going on.
Mm.
So basically those two numbers get added together. But like you say, I can always go to because of my edges, I can always go to the bank and get more money, so it's not an issue.
Okay, everyone gets a beanie.
Beanie. A nice little hat.
Beanies.
Someone told me the beanies must flow.
The beanies must flow.
They mysteriously went AFK for 3 minutes, and then suddenly the beanies must flow appeared in Twitch.
Oh, right. So we're all wearing hats with propellers on them now. Right, okay.
So you've all got one beanie as well.
Marvelous. I always wanted one of those.
Okay. So if you want to sort of cross off, if you sort of want to hand out a couple of dollars every time, you get to make a persuasion check at +2.
Okay, this is not going to work, is it? So what is $100 for +1?
I didn't say $100. I said a few dollars.
What does he get for a few dollars more?
Oh. Well then, make a persuasion check with a +2 bonus.
So anyway, meanwhile, back at the cheese in the Mongolia, if you follow my drift.
Yeah, that gets you a 6. That's more information than I really wanted to know, Jiminy. Next, you can give me a blow-by-blow account of the operation. Okay. Now, occasions enough to networking Houston Hills at home, but 2 locations. Okay. third successful on a networking roll, drums up the information about the gang's leader, Bud Ghost Rock Belloc. Apparently, he was a former hand at the Crittenden Ranch, but flew the coop to take up cattle rustling last year. He hasn't been seen in town. You didn't get the race, that's all you.
Somebody else want to go and go and schmooze.
Smooth.
Aye, go and buy somebody a drink in the bar.
Well, if somebody does, I've got a card that might help them do it. Passover.
Oh, by the way, GM, I put what I was doing in Whisper for you.
I did, yes. It's one of those helpful little things that says it's up to you what that does, so I'll have to make one up. Yeah. Well, it's obviously going to be. I'll work something out and do in a second. What's everyone else up to?
Juan is going to go into the bar and start asking around because he's a foreigner and he's interested in making a little extra money. He doesn't know much about digging, but he knows a lot about hunting down people, and he's just going to kind of go a little crazy in there. I will be doing a fair amount of money spending.
Okay, define a fair amount.
Give you a card then to see if that might help you.
A card. What's the card? Nope, not that button. This button. Do. Okay. Yeah, I'll dress up in my finest. That works. And I'll give this one back to you.
Yep. Ah,
Okay.
cool.
Okay, so
by a fair amount, I mean pretty much everybody in the bar is going to get at least 2 drinks.
okay, so make a persuasion check at +4 and halve your money. I don't know how much you've got actually. Let's have a look how much money.
I've got $500, so.
Oh yeah, don't halve your money. That would be ridiculous. I say it's going to cost you about $20.
Okay, that works.
What else you got? I think you just got invitations to several ladies' chambers, room keys, and house numbers.
Right. That's what you get on top of the other information about Bud Go Still Belloc.
Boy name's Kevin Turvey. Remember
Uh,
Kevin Turvey? Rick Mail.
I do remember Kevin Turvey.
I went to the toilet. First, I pulled down my trousers.
Yeah.
Said you wanted a blow-by-blow account.
So it looks like, from my, I don't know about you, but from my point of view, I think you're riding out to Crittenden Ranch, rather.
That would possibly be the next place to ask because he used to work there.
Before or after our show?
Hey, that's where we're going, isn't it?
When?
Yeah. How long is it till our show?
About an hour.
So
Yeah.
after the show then, for us anyway.
Just give you the map. of the environs.
For the show, GM.
Yes, you're going to play that
I'm-
card.
Mm-hmm.
Really need to play that after you successfully lower the field level rather than beforehand. But anyway, okay. I need to remind myself how one lowers fear levels. Tale telling. The best way for your heroes to fight evil is to fight fear. When you defeat a deadly abomination, capture a bird yourself or gang or everything else, you round up the locals and give them hope by making a persuasion roll for gripping, oratory, or rhetoric, or a performance roll to sing a song, recite poetry, or dramatically narrate a rousing tale of the group's victory over forces of evil. So, therefore, I'm not sure which one of you the two. I assume the amazing Adolfo is going to make the performance roll, and Sophia is going to assist.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you'd like to make your assistance roll, please, Sophia.
Yep.
That's a +1 on the amazing Adolfo's performance roll for attempting to lower the fear level.
Okay. So the show begins as usual with a number of feats of prestidigitation, including producing items from nowhere and the pocket watch trick and so on. Next, we have a sequence concerning Adolfo and Sophia's earlier walk into the hills and encountering the local legend of the Headless Horseman in the Hollow, with floating cloths and paper skulls being plucked from the audience and torn up. Each torn skull causes a spirit to collapse to the ground. And so, you'll no longer be bothered by those vile spirits. My magic has banished them, making the Hollow safe once more. Then finally we move on to a section of fire conjuring, with Adolfo setting fire to Sophia's arrows as she performs her contortion archery, ending with Adolfo's hat being knocked off and bending to pick it up as a last arrow cuts through the air where he was standing, hitting a bullseye and setting the target ablaze. Cue rapturous applause.
Okay, so you get a +2 bonus in total.
So that's actually a 14.
Indeed. So, with a success, the local fear level is reduced by 1. A critical failure. Message. When the hero with the telltale. Have you got the telltale edge?
Not yet.
Oh dear. It's a good tale then. However, you won't be able to drop the fear level after all, but you will at least get the everyone will get a point of conviction from the tale anyway because of the renown card.
Yep.
So you still reduce the fear level, you just don't get the extra point of conviction, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I
I've got that.
No, only he gets that because he told the tale. But everyone else still gets one because of the round card being played. Congratulations. So now I just went this. So I need to go into effects and global effects and turn off fear level 3, for the fear level has been reduced to 2.
Is that a global effect?
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay, so I need to.
All turned off the fear levels.
Well, it's because I just turned it off because it's below fear level 3. There's
Oh, we've gone below the thing. Groovy.
Yes. Okay, so
we never got around to doing that in Deadlands with Lost Colony.
Well, none of you ever bothered.
Oh no, we tried.
I have started converting the More of Oblivion. It almost seem to indicate you can use your existing characters, so it really will be season 2. But anyway, we're playing Spelljammer now, so that's okay. You will return. Okay, well, obviously you get paid your money, and that's the end of another thrilling day in Houston Hill. In the morning, as obviously the next day when you're planning to head out to the Crittenden, obviously there's who's staying? Is Mercy still staying in the other hotel?
Yes.
Who's staying in the house and who's staying elsewhere? I suppose that's the question to ask.
I'm definitely staying in the house.
Yeah, so am I. That's why I've been cleaning it so much.
And
ain't
so is
afraid of
Juan.
no yeah, I'll stay in the house. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Okay, so everyone's staying in the house apart from Mercy, so that's okay. So Mercy's the first to hear the story, but what are you doing for breakfast, the rest of you?
Well, having seen the pickled person, Juan is actually going to go into town for breakfast.
Okie dokie. Okay,
Yeah.
so as you start wandering around town, there's a story coming out by me.
Oh dear.
Pardon me. I'm clicking on.
Oh dear.
So yeah, let's make that good so I can see it at least. Okay. Where are you? You are Eastern Hill. Oh dear, that's quite a way away. Oh, there's an annoying grid on, I can tell. The grid is now off. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look. Did I put that?
No, there's an offset grid on it already.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? Let's get rid of my grid and set a grid up. Make traveling a bit easier. I know it's an offset grid, but that doesn't matter, does it? If I do that.
Yeah,
then
so
I
as long as your squares are the same size as the squares on the map, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No. So now, when you measure distances, it should be in miles. Look at that.
Yeah. If you want to be extra posh, you can make it a hex.
Yeah. Okay. So the story is 26 miles away as the crow flies in Aspen. It seems that basically after midnight, the dead are wandering around the cemetery after midnight.
Did you just say wombling around?
Wandering around.
Yeah, the dead get out. The dead get out and clean up the town.
Mind you, I did learn. Funny you should say wombling, and I may have said it because of something I was watching a bit earlier today. Apparently, I haven't seen the show in years. Would I lie to you? But her name, she played Jen in the IT crowd. Catherine Parkinson. Apparently, for her GCSE exam paper, when asked to give examples of mammals, she did put. She thought they were real creatures. She didn't think Wombles, the TV show, were real creatures, but you know how like Yogi Bear's a bear.
Yes.
Yeah. She thought Wombles were actually mammals, and obviously the TV show was personification of them.
But hang on a second. Have you been to Wimbledon? They are. Wombles are real.
I know they are, but anyway.
Who do you think cleans the mess up?
I always wonder why the everyday folk leave Uncle Bulgaria lying around.
We'd all like to sing the wobbling song, but unfortunately Mike Batt still owns the copyright on that for a few more.
I'm going to sing it on my stream.
You sing it on your stream, be my guest. Just mute yourself. Hello,
Yeah,
Scott. I noticed
so
you've got a new Flash Gordon adventure out. Was it a one sheet or an actual adventure? I know the other day. Anyway, so yes, apparently there's a problem. There's dead wandering around Aspen graveyard, frightening people.
You're
going to thinking the same thing I am.
Go to investigate the ghost steel Bud Ghost Steel and his gang.
This has an interesting effect that as the day goes on and everyone talks about it, you notice that the shadows seem to get a little more distorted again as the day goes.
Yeah, I thought that might happen.
Yeah, that didn't last long, did it?
Not a great deal. Maybe we should look into these things as they pick up.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is it to Aspen? How long is that going to take us?
Well, that depends if we ride down the Mormon Trail or we take the Oregon Trail and avoid getting dysentery on the way to Bridger and get the train.
I don't think you get dysentery from just riding down that.
Yeah, so it's 3 miles to Uri, then it's 2 miles to Fort Bridger, then from Fort Bridger Fort Supply is 5 miles, and then it's 8, 12, 17. It's about 20 miles on the trail.
Yeah, we can't go to Bridger and take the train.
Why can't we go to Bridge and take the train?
Because if you've watched the news, have you been listening to the gossip? Apparently, some gang's been ripping up the railway line on the Denver Pacific. Apparently, they've tried to. It's becoming an issue in the railways. So
Well, then
I don't know if the line is broken. So if
Then
they're
then we'll have to take the Mormon Trail.
it's just if you go to Bridget and the line is broken, you've gone in the wrong direction. Whereas if you go to Piermont, then if the train is broken, if the lines are broken from Piermont to Aspen, it's okay. You haven't lost any time because you're on the way there anyway.
I
Well,
suppose.
it still makes sense to follow the Mormon Trail to get there.
Whereas it's about 3,000 yards to Crittenden March from
Well,
Houston
I
Hill
would
if
suggest
you
that
follow
we
the
go and
Lone Tree Trail.
I would suggest we go and have a word at the Crittenden Ranch, and then, in all honesty, if we're going to sort out whatever is going on with Agent Reed here, we're going to have to keep on top of everything else that's going on in the county. So I suggest we then ride over to Aspen and have a look into these reports of walking dead folk. I mean, there's
Yes,
plenty of them going on in this house itself, but let's
about
just
one-
wash over them and deal with the ones in Aspen instead, hey?
It's about 1 3/4 miles to the ranch if you go along the trail. If you go a different way,
It'll all be along the trail.
Bear in mind, on horseback to Aspen, we'd be hard pressed to make it in a single day. We'd have to probably camp overnight and be in, and that's at least.
Miles. Surely that would be easy within a day on a horse.
Nope.
Humans
And
can
then
walk
and then
4
and then
miles.
there's my giant wolf theory to contend with.
travel
What's
times. Here we go.
difficult about the
Travel
journey?
times page. Obviously, go back to
Average
the
trail horse will cover between 25 and 30 miles in a day in ideal conditions.
thing
In
is,
ideal conditions,
whether you
Aspen
just choose to
from up
ride
there
on your own
is-
saddle alongside your companions or in a spiffy new Concorde stagecoach, hoofing it across the west is basically a bad idea for any distances. The ride is long, hard, and uncomfortable, and you're likely to be chased by angry road agents or the biggest and nastiest critters you've tangled with. This is obviously Deadlands Reloaded rather than the longer distances. Your best bet is the stage. The drivers stick to well routes. Change horses every 15 miles or so. Keep up. Most reputable stagecoach companies do 100 miles a day, which is cycle. If you're dead on hitting the trail and you're on cycle, you make a riding check at -2 for each week.
Yeah,
it's
by
a
the
day.
way,
Yeah, actually,
nobody.
you're right.
We're not taking horses anyway. We're going to ride in the coach.
Who's going to pull the coach? A ghost?
Yeah. So we always travel by coach because horses are not an option, obviously.
So what's pulling the coach?
Your steam wagon. I didn't know you had a steam wagon.
What's pulling the coach is the invisible black skeleton horses.
See them. I've never
Harry
seen anyone
Potter.
else.
It's Harry Potter.
That's I'm very much enjoying that game.
Well, I've got
average travel
buggy.
times is 30 miles a day. So you
Yeah.
can't. It would be a day's ride to Aspen.
Yeah. But we should have time to go to the Crittenden Ranch, ask around there, and then get to Aspen.
Go to the Crittenden Ranch.
Yeah.
Kill all of the people at Crittenden Ranch. That's that problem solved with. Then we go to Aspen, kill everyone there, and
Mr. Money, will you please stop with the talk of killing? There is no need.
you're a walking dead, dude. You know, we stop talking about being dead. You already are dead. Yeah, you stink as well. By the way.
You might be dead, but at least you don't kill folk.
You know, you're a remarkably rude person, Mr. Money.
I haven't killed anyone yet. I've had a chance.
And I think it would be a good idea if it remained that way.
Let's go. Stinky.
You know, I've had a bath here.
Stinky Adolfo. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Okay. Right. So the treasure. Sorry, I'm just sorting something out. Buried.
You could call him Adolfo the Malodorous.
Malodorous Adolfo. Yes, very good. Did I have peppermints in the West?
They do.
Febreze.
Right, someone's thinking me having to come up stuff. There we go. There we go. So I was just sort of about that. Okay, so it's uneventful 1 3/4 mile ride to Crittenden Ranch.
So we are taking we are taking the coach, aren't we?
Going on about a coach. I don't know what coach you're talking about.
Well, we're not going on a horse, are we?
Yeah, but what coach have you got a coach? Is what I'm trying to say.
I've got a buggy, which is
I know
a
you've got a
two-person.
buggy.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
which is what
That's
you was-
better. Because I need something with wheels. I'm not getting on something with legs because it'll fall off.
Yeah, but
That'd
Sophia
be silly,
and
wouldn't it?
Sophia and Patrick sit in the buggy.
Yeah.
Oh, can't we just can't me and Patrick sit in the buggy and she can, I don't know, can we not fold her up and put her on the luggage rack or something like that?
I can fold myself up, thank you.
But while Misty is quite flexible, I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea, Mr. Watt.
What did I do with my... there's my 80 Smith and Roberts catalogue. I suppose they'll update it again soon, won't they? Do have instructions for deliveries, don't they? Page 22.
Yeah, it's just I didn't fancy going by horse in case I fall off. It's as simple as that. It's unnatural. Shouldn't be riding horses.
Well, people have ridden horses for quite some time, you know. And being as horses are, well, quite natural things, I don't think you can quite say that it's unnatural to be riding a horse. I mean, yes, if the good Lord had meant us to be horses, he'd have given us hooves and 4 legs and, well, not the ability to speak, and we'd whinny, but all that.
No, I say nay to that.
I'm sure you would.
You have a point there, Paddy, or you're just well, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing, but
Well, I think the sentence kind of got away with me a little bit there.
yeah, I think it did.
I think you're beating a dead horse here. Yeah.
Money did you get, Mr. Watt?
What?
How much money do you get? I know you're...
How much money did I get? It's up to you.
You equivalent of 150. Okay. Okay. So that morning, here we go. No problem at all. Could get interesting, especially it'll be unskilled. Yes, it will. That's fine. Okay. there's an obviously after breakfast, as you're all sorting yourselves out and discussing where to go, there's a knock at the door.
Somebody at the door.
I will go and
Indeed.
answer the door then.
Great, thanks.
There, a bit outside, there is a chap. He's wearing a uniform. It's rather spiffy, rather blue uniform, and goes, "Delivery for John Watt."
What?
What?
Delivery for John Watt. His
What?
his Smith and Robards order has arrived.
Oh, have we been attacked by seagulls? What?
What?
What? What?
It's mine. It's mine.
Looking down the steps, there's a very there's basically well, what you can see is there's a very large crate in the middle of the street, and in the distance you could hear a sort of thump, 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 thump noise. Looking up, you see something flying away, or rather circling overhead.
Oh, it's one of
Well,
those whirling.
Well,
Mr.
retracting
Watt,
a winch.
Mr. Watt, somebody sent you a box by whirligig.
Right, okay. So I take it must be one railroad somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, so the
There must
chap
be a railroad company somewhere.
The guy holds out a clipboard. So I just need you to sign here to acknowledge you've accepted delivery.
I'll sign. So I take it this is for this will be for the steam gauge one with the scrutineer.
Mm-hmm. So okay, goes. Thank you very much. At that point, you see him sort of signaling up to the guy up above, and obviously seems to be indicating head out of town. I'll pick me up there because he came down with the crate to make sure it didn't spin. And he goes. He hands you over a package. It weighs about £1. He goes, "Here's your complimentary pack of Ghost Rock the first 50 miles." Walks away.
Well, we better start unboxing her then.
Indeed. It is an interesting item when you unbox it. Rather large. And I've already added it to your character sheet on the 1, 2, 3, 4th tab of the inventory. But when you finish unboxing it, it appears to be a large metal wagon with 4 wheels and a steam engine in the middle of it.
Well, they must be. I think Denver Pacific must be building a new engine then, and they're going to need a new steam gauge. And mines have got screws, whereas the old ones used to be welded. So if they jam, you have to take the whole unit off, and it takes ages. But with mines unscrew, and you can fix it in 5 minutes.
Basically, because you get 150k a year, I'm going
so
to retcon the
what-
fact that I'm just having it retcon that you ordered a steam wagon at some point in the past, and it's been chasing you ever since.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
the steam gauge unscrews and it turns 5 hours into 5 minutes. But I didn't sell it to them. What I did is I lease it to them. I rent them the gauge, and they pay me. Basically, they pay me. I rent the parts to them.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is basically Mr. Watt's got a steam wagon that can carry up to 6 people at a top speed of 50 miles an hour. It should also be pointed out that it's probably a safe bet that John Watt doesn't have the driving skill.
Yeah, of course, because that's what we've got employees for that, haven't we? You know.
Well,
It's like riding. It's like riding. We've got employees for pulling wagons. Have we not?
It's probably a safe bet that none of us have the driving skill.
Indeed.
Oh, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
Did you really actually say that?
So the point I'm trying to make is he didn't want to get on something with a horse, so I've solved the problem because he's got the rich edge, and it's perfectly reasonable for some nutcase like him to have ordered a steam wagon in the past. So there you go.
Who wants to have the epiphany card off me then?
Oh, yes. Gain a skill for the rest of the session at D6.
Maybe John Watt should take that.
Here you go. Now you know how to use it. You've read the manual.
Okay, I take it I know how to drive it then.
You do now. Something clicks as you look at it. Next week, however,
Okay,
you'll have
right.
forgotten
Look, tell you
again.
what, I'll put a mod
See,
on
that
you.
will work. He's forgetful, isn't it? Next week, he's like, how did I do it last time?
I know. I'm going to forget this, aren't I?
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll have thrown away the instruction manual and then forgotten how to do it.
Yes.
I'll
Okay,
be
so
totally fine. I'll remember how to drive there. But I may not forget to take my pants with me, but I'll be fine. It'll be okay, people. No,
Okay.
Don't panic.
So, the cattle ranch south of Poverty Flats is owned by Heath Crittenden, who runs it with the help of his oldest son, Brock. The cattle range freely in the Unitar foothills, fattening them up on mountain grass in the eventual roundup and drive to Easton Hill and Carter Depot. So there we go. That's basically as you approach the Crittenden Ranch. Lucky people. Who last has seen him alive. So, okay. As you're coming up on the ranch, a younger fellow, probably the son Brock, from what the information you got back in town, sort of can't help but notice you as a number of horses, a
Infernal machine.
now I'm trying to remember what yours was called.
Buggy.
Buggy, thank you. The word just went straight out of my head. And then some infernal steam engine making noises. See now. Anyway, arrive and so he heads over to see what's going.
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Indeed.
And how the very devil do I find you on this lovely, lovely Wyoming day?
Well, we've had better, that's for sure.
But I'd wager you'd had worse.
Oh, well, not much. Someone's killed a bunch of our cattle up in the foothills and stamped outlandish tracks in the mud as like some sort of sick prank.
Well, that is quite terrible, I have to say. I take it you've reported such to the sheriff.
Well, we don't get into town that much. I mean, I happened to be in town last night, and I was. Hey, you wouldn't be the amazing Adolfo who destroyed all those eel critters out on the prairie, would you?
Well, the name's Patrick when it's not professional, like. Actually, I
Headless
was
horseman.
Well, something like that, I suppose. Yes, but
are these the fine band of fellows that accompanied you? Quite you on stage.
I will gesture to Sophia. Miss D is my associate. The others here, Mr. Hong is he's a little bit strange. He's a foreigner, you know. Mr. Watt is sitting on his infernal machine there. He likes things that go pish cuff quite a lot. And,
it does, in fact, at this point just go shh, and he's just enveloped in a cloud of steam.
The surly gentleman over there with the bad attitude and worse manners is Mr. Money, and the surly lady over there with the bad attitude and worse manners is Miss Vancouver.
Well, given that you all face the fearsome creatures with no fear, and again quoting you from last night, sir. Maybe you can help find out what's going on.
Well, there are a number of engagements that we have, but I suppose in return for a certain remuneration, we might be able to. And I'm not talking about anything fiscal here, of course. What I was actually, let me explain. I only came to Heaston Hill because I'm looking for a friend of mine, Mr. Len Buckles, who was doing some mining here and hereabouts. Now, while I work as a stage performer by my profession, Mr. Buckles, let us say he had a number of debts, and we have come together because we are linked by these debts that Mr. Buckles owes. And, well, Mr. Buckles was last seen in, so we've been led to believe, in the company of a group known as the Ghost Steel Gang. Have you heard of them?
Sure, everyone's heard of them. Obviously, we're worried about them being cattle owners ourselves.
Well, indeed, but well, from what I'm told, the leader of the Ghost Steel Gang, well, I'm not quite sure how I can put this without being at least a little bit indelicate. So,
He works here.
thank you, Mr. Hong, for your characteristic bluntness. Bud Balak, I believe, was a hand here at the ranch.
Indeed, I mean, we were quite surprised when he took up that kind of work. He always seemed like a stand-up fella, but yes, I'm sure some of the hands may have some more information. But obviously, at the moment, they're out trying to protect the cattle from whatever keeps killing them. He says with a slight smile on his face.
I see. Now, if we were to perhaps, well, we have business in Aspen, and well, I'm hoping that Mr. Watt's infernal machine, with the lick of speed it can take, should be able to get us there and back in a day. If it can travel, apparently it can travel 50 miles in a single hour. Can you imagine something going that fast? I mean, it blows your mind. It really does. But we have business in Aspen. But when we've returned from that, I will make you a promise that if you can get your hands to have a talk to us about Mr. Balak, we will see what we can do about whatever it is that's been worrying your cattle. Would that be something you'd be amenable to, sir?
We've lost half. We've lost quite a few head of hurt cattle. You know, I mean, we really could do with the help sooner rather than later.
Oh, let's go solve their cow problem, and then we'll find out what we need to know.
Well, very well. I just hope that Mr. Watt's machine can get us to Aspen, well, within an hour. It's less than 50 miles away. Let us see what we can do then for the good folk of the ranch here, and then we can get to Aspen as quickly as we can. And we do have what could be important business there, after all.
It should be said. Judging from his face, he obviously doesn't believe that you can get to Aspen and back in an hour. That's the problem, you see.
Mr. Watt, perhaps you would like... Mr. Watt, could you give a demonstration of the speed of your machine? I say, Mr. Watt, can you hear
All right,
me?
hang on, wait a minute. I'm just fiddling with it. Right, yes. So we can do it. We can take it out for a burrow and round the property.
Okay, so let's have a driving check at -1 because of its handling.
Well,
Get it
yeah, I
up
know,
to
but
speed.
hang on. It should theoretically work.
Well, that's
Zoom.
of course that's okay. Zoom, in fact, even on the he even puts in a handy, very tight cornered turn at speed, and he brings it to a halt in front of all of you, kicking up a cloud of dust and smoke and steam.
Now, you see, like I said, we should be able to get to Aspen and back within the day on this machine of Mr. Watt's.
Are you sure it's safe?
And I'm sure Mr. Watt would not put himself on anything unsafe. Other people, perhaps, but if he's on it, he'll keep it safe.
So that vehicle, that infernal contraption, as you called it earlier, may be able to get to Aspen and back in a couple of hours, but the rest of you are on horseback. I mean, that's a day's ride.
Well, but we can all fit on you can all fit on this thing. It's got room.
Perhaps you'd be willing to stable our horses, and we'll come back for them later today, and then can look into what's been taking your cattle at night, as you said.
Sounds reasonable then. Yeah, he does seem like he did say. Yes, he did. Wait, I did. So yeah, okay. He does seem impressed by that. So he does seem that I think he wants to see if you really can get to Aspen and back in a day. Let me.
The wagon will seat 5 victims. Sorry, passengers on the inside of it, so it'll be fine. Totally fine.
It should be pointed out it's an open steam wagon. It's not an enclosed one.
Well, this will be a new experience for me. Very good of you, sir, to feed and water our horses while we're away. And we shall see you later in the afternoon. Well, early evening, perhaps the latest.
I hope.
Misty.
Well, I must. It goes. I gather that. Well, I do believe that. I'm just going to have to make it up as I go along. I gather that a shop owned by someone calling himself Mr. Wonka has opened in Aspen. If he's selling these ever flavorful gobstoppers. If you could pick me one up, I'd be happy to reimburse you the.
What's your
Like-
name? Slugworth.
It's Bud. No, it's not Spud. It's Brock. Brock Crittenden.
Well, I'm
You're
sure
in
that we
Junior.
can manage that. An ever flavorful gobstopper, you say?
Indeed. I just tried
Well,
to. I was trying to
Let's
look
all
for.
get on this machine and Mr. Watt, would you do us the honour of getting us to Aspen as quick as you can?
Right. Well, just remember, keep all limbs inside the vehicle at all times.
Very good, sir. Right you are. Don't you worry, Misty. It will be absolutely fine. It's just like riding on a train, except there's no rails and Mr. Watt's driving it. You have been
That's
on
not
a train,
plain.
haven't you?
Yep, I knew.
I don't care for this either, but let us get on and go.
Okie dokie. Is any well? I'm ignoring the whole part of not actually being able to get there in time, but that's by the by. Does anyone really? I'm assuming you all have reservations, but you all get on it. If anyone really doesn't want to stand, okay, I am
Tell the
going.
stupid, as they say in foreign parts.
Yeah. So I mean,
Savage.
so yeah, Aspen Forest is a quaking Aspen Forest east of Headstone Hill. Yeah, and it's yeah. Apparently that's where the agent was bothered about anyway. 'Cause
No,
people
Mr.
keep
Watt, we need to be going
disappearing.
west. No, not to the Aspen Forest. The Aspen Forest is to the east. The town of Aspen is to the west. We're going to the town of Aspen, which is that way.
Oh right, not to the forest. I don't know. It's all very this Wild West is all very confusing. It's all
We're
very
going
wild.
west.
Too much wild.
Go west, young man.
Go away. No, I'm wearing a string vest. Okay. Okay.
In a western
Okay.
town in a Deadlands world,
Yes, I know. It's a song about wearing string vests. Yes.
I'm going to try something different. Sorry, I was trying. Failing miserably. Aha. Okay. That might...
and then all we got to do is buy one of these ever flavorful gobstoppers and track down these couple of sinister folks that are doing things in Aspen, get rid of them, and get back. Easy.
Right, let's go and do it then.
Well, I'm waiting for Mr. Watt to start his engine, or at least get it going.
Can you turn it off?
I think he's got his motor running. We need to get out on the highway.
Sorry, if I
Otherwise,
Keep your motor running. Yeah.
or a random encounter that might come our way. I don't know.
I'm just trying to find a map for a bloody Western graveyard. On anywhere. Oh well. All
Yeah,
the,
it
all
might
the,
be
all the
prudent
fantasy
to put-
ones are too fantasy, if you know what I mean.
Have,
Oh, well.
have we gone somewhere you didn't expect?
Well, yeah, because something happened because of a random roll, so I've got a map for it, annoyingly. If you can't hear us talking, Mercy, yes, you have lost sound. I am aware of the stupidity.
Yeah, I was going to point it out, but
Joshua made him Bosnian payback, but she's lost sound because I haven't heard her for a while. I can hear you, but you won't be able to hear me though. Ah. So you haven't lost sound, you've lost mic. Okay. Right. Let's just have a nice straightforward driving check then.
A nice, straightforward driving check.
Yeah. That's a 2.
I would like to support him.
Could somebody actually tell me where I'm supposed to be going?
Well,
I don't. I mean, it's Aspen Forest, and apparently Aspen Forest in the wrong place. So apparently we're going to the town of Aspen along the Mormon Trail.
Well, there's a +1 because I'm pointing you in the right direction. Maybe somebody else can support you too.
Right. So I got that bit. Can somebody watch for gopher holes? Because if the wheel goes in, this thing's going to roll. I'm not sure about the weight distribution on it either. Any volunteers for gopher watchers?
Misty, could you look out for any gopher holes? I'm busy trying to point him in the right direction here.
okay. There's one.
Oh, rest right now. I've got the hang of it. I think we're there.
Okie dokie. No vehicle for. Okay.
Got a race.
Okay, well, it's about an hour and a half later, and you are basically pulling up into the town of Aspen.
That wasn't too bad.
Thank you, God. Thank you for delivering us safely.
Oh, very good of you, Mr. Watt. Now, one of us needs to go and buy this gobstopper, and we should ask around about where these mysterious sneaky folks are.
Don't we need to get some more fuel for this thing?
Nah, that'd be fine. It got delivered by a fuel supply.
Indeed, at least, well, we've only been about 20 miles, and I believe what the gentleman said was enough for the first 50 miles.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much of a supply of fuel you're going to find in, well, I guess it is a mining town, isn't it? Never mind.
And I believe Mr. Watt hasn't eaten all of the stuff that we found in the basement yet.
Nah, but I have kind of ground it down quite a bit. I think because I have been burning it because it did summon the gates.
Hey, that was a 35-mile drive.
So we might have to top it up a wee bit.
Okay, so as you get closer to this mountaintop refueling station of a town, it's a mountaintop refueling station, sits at the high point of the divide. Trains labour out the long grade in either direction, stop here to refuel, replenish wood and coal. Don't have any obstructions lying in either direction, courtesy of the Denver Pacific Telegraph Office. So it's it's probably not some. I mean, it says it's a town in the town map, so it's a town. Obviously, it's built up about the railway and the Denver Pacific. It's you can see there does appear to be some sort of general store, but it says Wonka's General Store on the outside of it.
Well, Mr. Watt, if you purchase some replacement fuel and ask around about where the shadowy figures might have been seen, so that we can go and investigate there, I can go and purchase some of these ever flavorful gobstoppers and do much the same in the general store. And perhaps the rest of you could ask around a little. We can find out a place where we could go and take a look. What do you reckon, everybody?
Sounds like a plan.
Very good. Well,
aren't we here because of the dead walking around in the graveyard?
Yes, that is exactly right. But
okay, and weren't they complaining about it at midnight?
Stay a little then.
How are we going to be here at midnight and at the ranch for the nighttime at the same time?
If they've been walking around, there's got to be evidence of where they are now. We go and find where they are now and deal with it now, and then we get back to the ranch. And then we can come back again if we need to.
I love how confident he is. He never for a moment thinks that we might completely and utterly fail. It's great.
Mr. Watt, your machine is going to get a lot of a workout, isn't it? And he will start, and one will start wandering off towards the graveyard.
Okay. I should point out, actually, as you got closer here, the shadows looked more dark and a bit more twisted in Aspen.
Yeah, I don't think they're only going to be out at night.
So who's going where?
I'm going to buy a gobstopper and ask the shopkeep about these figures seen in the graveyard and when they were last seen and where they might be.
Well, indeed. Well, actually, that's fine. What about everyone else?
I think I'll go to the church and the graveyard and pray for guidance and have a look around.
Okay. Next.
Yeah, Juan is going to the graveyard. He's going to look for disturbed graves and things like that.
Yeah, I think I'll go to the graveyard.
Let's go to the graveyard. Let's all go to the graveyard.
Well, I promised to buy a gobstopper, so I'm going to go buy a gobstopper.
You bunch of evil fiends going somewhere where I don't have a map.
Well, you've got a map. Okay, let's go to the place where you've got a map then. Okay. Problem solved.
I haven't got any maps ready, but that's the problem.
You haven't got any maps ready?
I wasn't expecting you to come here.
Okay.
Aha! This will do. That will.
What I prepared earlier.
Oh, one that Angela prepared earlier from Angela's maps. Yeah, that'll do. Let's open that one up. Open. So, okay. Well, wandering around the graveyard, you don't find much. At the end of the day, none of the graves appear to be disturbed or anything.
I mean, but I don't know.
However, did anyone
Does the
go?
shopkeep have anything to say to me?
He does. Does anyone going to any other than the church? Well, obviously the church I heard, but is anyone going anywhere else?
We're going to ask about town where these things were spotted and go look around, isn't it?
Okie dokie. So basically, in the shop, it turns out that obviously, apparently, in the last few months, the tool house has been burglarized twice, and then more recently, a near derailment prompted panic telegraph operators to call in a company rail agent. Subsequently, been investigating the area, but it hasn't been seen for a couple of days. And everyone swears they've seen shadowy figures skulking in the trees around this train station.
Trees around a train station?
At night.
I see, at night. Well, these figures been seen going anywhere after that?
But anyway, in the meantime, I'm just going to refresh.
Oh, I heard you.
Sorry, what was the question?
They've been seen going anywhere.
So we'll have to do as. Ooh. Grid. With grids, just count how many squares it should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
$14, $20, $42.
Shut up. That. And that petty. Okay, now I'm going to have to open it in bloody Photoshop. That slows me down even more. Okay, then I can do another one. I can just drive a circle and find out that it is in fact 55 pixels grid. That's an unusual size. So let's make it 150 because that will look better. Yeah, that's perfect. Then I can do that. Then I can go to there, turn that off, and there we go. Right. Yeah.
Good now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I was trying to interject with the idea that, that whatever's happening in Aspen probably wasn't going to leave anytime soon. And the fact that this steam machine or whatever we rode in is doing this up some mysteriously steep mountain trails. Of course, that would have had no effect whatsoever on his driving penalties, right?
No, he's all fine. He rolled ridiculously well, I'm afraid to say.
You weren't the one that was afraid. It was everybody that was in this vehicle with him.
Can I have some notice checks from everybody, please?
So did we make it to Aspen?
Yes, you're in Aspen now.
Made it to Aspen. There was a bit of a misfire at the beginning, but we're all right. A bit of teamwork.
I'm sure if we go and look around in those woods, we'll be able to find a trail people have been walking around.
Crying out loud. Actually, ahead of myself. Okay, you hear basically you suddenly hear some gunfire coming from up near the railroad tracks.
Well, let's go that way.
I also didn't get a chance to ask if Patrick's anxiety about going and finding these dead that were walking around, was he expecting to find friends?
Why would I be expecting to find friends?
Brethren. Or sisterin.
Right.
No, my brother never left Ireland. Neither did my sister, for that matter, but for entirely different reasons.
The guy over there smells exactly like you do.
Okay, I'm going to do that, and then that. My life easier, and then I'm going to that. Okay, so heading in the direction of the gunfire takes you up to the back up towards the station and the sidings around it. And when you get there, what you notice is there seems to be a group of individuals. It looks like they're in the process of pulling up railroad tracks, but they seem to be shooting at two shambling corpses. And you arrive on the scene.
We should totally go and investigate that then.
I think we should be
One
stopping.
goes first. Someone just lose the map. No tokens.
Shoot 'em up gang members, huh?
But if they're tearing up tracks, they're wanted by the railroads. There's probably a price on them by the railroads.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that they just won't have a word with them and tell them they're naughty, not have them ripped apart by the Walking Dead.
I think that depends on which railroad it is.
Very much so.
That'll belong to Denver Pacific.
Yes, this is Denver Pacific, not this isn't Baron Lacroix. I would.
This isn't the Bayou Vermilion. That's
No.
down south.
It doesn't matter. I mean, technically,
Yeah.
I did put guns on them. Some of the engines get gun turrets on them.
I think that is a dead Walking Dead. It has ceased to be.
Yes, it is definitely a bit on the less than ambulatory side of things. Sophia D.
I'm going to lean on this coal cart thing for support and shoot the Walking Dead in the head. So I'm cold shot.
Dookie.
Well, that clearly missed.
Think that was a little bit high, Misty.
Get it next time.
Just decided on the spur of the moment to be artistic.
Remember, like we do on stage, take your time, breathe.
Some line of sight on the map.
It's
There we go.
easier when it's a target and not when it's that horrible thing coming towards us.
I understand.
Uh,
I'm slightly discombobulated by it myself.
I've lost it. I've lost him. I've lost him. I've lost him. Where? Yeah.
What have we lost?
Oh,
The will to live.
One of the people shooting at the Walking Dead, suddenly shouts out, "Dead agents!" And you notice the focus on the Walking Dead slightly adjusts towards you as well.
There's this carriage here. Any kind of cover.
Which cover? That one. Yes, it should be. Hang on a second. I haven't noticed it. There we go, and there we go. Make you happier?
Beautiful.
Right. F. Oops. No, I've pressed F11 one time too many. Into there. He's going to fire his Colt Frontier at the dead. Hitting, doing no real damage. They don't go down, he shouts. So he's going to move to there. He's going to fire at the Walking Dead.
Neither does Batman,
Yes.
according to the news.
Went over my head, I'm afraid.
If you look it up, it's to do with the Harley Quinn animation, and apparently heroes don't do that according to DC.
Heroes don't do what?
One of the shoot 'em up gang opens fire at Huang and misses. Another one opens fire at Huang. Unfortunately, he
Don't do
does
oral
hit.
sex.
Huang is shaken as a fusillade of bullets whistle past him. Fusillade. I'm going to shoot the Walking Dead and miss. That gets me to William money.
He's going to go.
But he runs forwards to that rail cart, ducks behind it, pops out, and that is a lovely glitter effect on those dice. Yeah. They've got a slight... It's not dirt, it's grunge, actually. Quite like it. What dice are that?
It's the metal dice, metal pitted.
Yeah, they are nice, the metal pitted ones, yeah.
Shooting this gang member because he shot off one.
I'm just using... Oh, for this game, I'm just using metal gold, because, of course, it's It's the Wild West. It's all about gold, isn't it? I know, Ghost Rock.
They're all covered in blood, which is why they're that colour.
Indeed. Okay. He's bleeding out.
Don't shoot my friends.
Ooh.
Okay,
Basically,
Warg.
they're saying Batman doesn't speak multiple languages. Is that what it is?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got cover behind this thing against these.
Do you have first strike these days? One, I can't remember.
I do, yes.
But he's
Let's have a-
shaken.
But he's shaken. Of course he is. But he can
However,
spend a
I
penny,
will spend a penny to unshake.
and then you can
Gotta
first
figure
strike.
out where the buttons. Where am I going? Here, not there. Shake. Strike.
That's a hit. That's a wound. Well, they'll get us up later, apparently. The amazing adult.
The amazing Adolfo is going to get into cover next to Will Money and is going to call out, "No, we're not rail agents. We were just here looking for these mysterious shambling individuals, so we were. That's it. Nothing more than that. No need to shoot us."
My hot iron and risky -2.
Because hot iron and whiskey was used on me in the last session, and for a week I'm at -2 to persuasion rolls because I've got a scarred face.
Ah, righty ho. Enough. I have too many maps open. I've lost it.
The fact that he's already dead isn't bad enough. Now he's scarred too. It's just getting disgusting.
He scarred it more than one.
And he smells.
He's
That,
never going to be a ladies' man, that's for sure.
that shout was directed ideally at whoever's in charge of this group, but since I don't know who it is, I can't test them directly.
I know.
I think a dick might be in charge.
Well, I'm thinking quite possibly because he did shout Dick Road Agents, but I don't know which one Dick is.
Yeah, it might be Sabata though.
Actually, okay. As you say all that, can I have notice checks from everyone? GM may well have been fibbing about what they were doing because obviously you tell properly. Excuse some now sticking. Why is it not letting me? Why is it not letting me reopen the map?
Don't know.
You haven't shared it yourself.
No, I'm double clicking. I am double clicking on the character on the map, and it's still not reopening the map, which is really annoying. I've lost the map.
You've called it train station with no space.
Yeah. I minimised it, but the minimised icon vanished. I literally hid you back there because that leaves you. I'd move you to you're in cover. There, you're exposed.
Ah, okay.
To be exposed, that's absolutely fine.
Well, it was more I was overlapping. That was all.
I know. I haven't loaded. I haven't loaded the nice. I haven't put the. Have I got?
Yeah, you do
yes.
have it on. Yeah.
I have looked. Yes, but that overlapping doesn't matter. Look, let me put you right on top of William Money.
Oh right, yes. Sorry, I didn't
and now
realise
click. And now click on yourself. And you
right,
get.
Okay. I did not realise that was on there. Okay, cool.
It's a very cool extension.
It's a very cool extension. It has to be said. It works very well. So stacking tokens is not a problem anymore. Yeah. Okay. So, well, you got a note. What you actually realise is they're not actually derailing the track. It looks like the track is already damaged at this point. What it does appear is they seem to be getting sticks of dynamite out from under a cache they've hidden under this rail cart.
Right. Okay.
So that's fine. You tried to persuasion. You got a 5. The modifiers. I'm afraid it doesn't seem to deter them.
Okay.
There's very good reason for that because I know who their boss is. They're more scared of him than they are of you being persuasive. I'm afraid.
Mhm.
Right. I am going to give. I'm going to go to effects and go cover. I'm going to give heavy cover to William Money and heavy cover to the Amazing Adolfo. As Dick, shoot 'em up, Dick Paulson. Going to be very unpleasant. Rate of far 2 means he can target both of you. Oh, it really works rather well. It even works when it comes to targeting. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
Okay.
They've only got to be overlapping by a tiny bit for it to pop up, so you can know.
Yeah, it's
not
very nice.
accidentally. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so both you guys are in full cover, which is probably a good thing, as this Dick guy steps out from behind the thing, behind the wagon he was behind, and starts up his Gatling shotgun on you.
Oh dear.
Fortunately, the heavy cover that you're both under protects both of you as multiple shotgun blasts, basically ricochet off the side of the wagon you're hiding.
Okay. Very well. I understand your feelings on the matter.
Mr. John Watt, sir.
Mr. John Watt. Is going on hold, I think.
Is Mercy still on a horse?
No.
she
so
can't.
take
She
the
can't be.
unstable.
Yeah, unstable platform does not apply. There we go. Off.
Well, let me see how far I can step forward.
All of you.
I gotta see what that gives me for distance. That'd be 6 to them. Oh, next. Okay, so 8 to him. 8 to him. I'm working this out.
No, don't worry. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at. They called it, the bad guy, the opposing bad. See, is called Shoot 'em Up Dick Paulson. Avis just said at least they didn't call him side-scrolling platform. It's very forced, but it appeals to me.
Cabins of Mars is being remastered.
Okay, I've done 2 different birth temples. This one's mine. Okay, so I can get these 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the overlapping portraits issue, I can't tell who's who's whose.
Well, it's letting me target now with the even with the template out there.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the reason they're almost the same colours. I can't tell which colour everybody's picked.
And Mercy, because these first 4 are within her line of sight, is going to point out to them that if we are real agents, you know that it doesn't matter whether we take back living beings or bodies, and she's going to cast evil eye on them, and then her eyes go black and with the red flare, and
Sounds
picks out
unpleasant.
one look at a time. Yeah, that's terrible raise.
Overwhelming dread and horror. The affected make a fear roll. Extras who fail are panicked. Odd cars church. Fear table. Okay. The fear effect is in place, so I can just do a.
Unload an extra -2 because.
Yeah, they did
raise.
an extra -2 because it was with a raise.
He fails. Problem is, I don't know if I have to roll fear for an NPC, I probably have to move the combat tracker to them, don't I? So
Probably, yeah.
global fear effects only work for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one here is panicked. He immediately runs, doesn't he?
Hmm.
Global work for everything.
Yeah, but it won't work for NPCs unless I move the combat tracker to the NPC.
Oh, this
and
is
then,
on their go, right? Okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to sort of have him running in sort of in an interesting route because obviously he can't head off the map. Okay, -4. Get the impression I'm going to need it a lot. Spirit. We nearly made it. Not enough. Panics. At -4. Spirit. Panics. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. And apparently this one's bleeding out.
He's the one I shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Oh. I noticed this one.
Requesting interrupt.
Okay, dokie. I have to just need to check something. Okay, okay, as you request interrupt, a woman that seems to be sort of scantily dressed in black leather, with a black duster and a whip on her side, steps forwards.
Moi, I didn't know you were going to meet any of your friends here, Miss Vancouver.
I raise one eyebrow at Patrick.
Okay, you need to beat an 11, Mr. Watts.
Ooh, that's going to be a different. Hang on, hop along. I'll hop along.
Okie so I am going to see now. I'm going to go for.
Yeah, I didn't want to go before Mercy because I was going to havoc them, and then I would have moved them out of burst radius. I thought a bad idea, so I'll go after them.
Go for a large burst template. We'll position it about there, which means the distance is that. So that means I am going to have to spend the extra for range, which is fine. So that's +1 for large, +1 for range. Doesn't have to be selective. Lingering. +4. I'm going to spend +4 for extra damage. That will cost 5 power. Successful. That's successful regardless of the cover, because cover doesn't apply to area of effects, does it?
No.
Okay, so that is a 3d6.
However, cover does apply as armor against an area.
Agreed. Yeah. So first one first. One is shaken as as basically there's an explosion of black tentacle-like things clawing at all of you. You know, I mean, it's like a black dot smoke flies out and then leaves behind writhing tentacles that writhe and rake and claw at you. Okay, so William Money has toughness 11 because of cover and is unharmed. Amazing Adolfo is unharmed. And Mercy Vancouver takes 2 wounds. It's almost as if
the focus on Lucy for
the
some reason.
focus of the spell was on her for some reason. Agreed.
Well, we'll try one more time.
Okay.
I'm only going to take off 1.
Indeed. And in fact, actually, you do notice there is a slight smirk on the woman's face, almost as if she did indeed for you to take the brunt of the effect as she steps back into. Mr. John Watt, you're up, sir.
So John Watwell move to there. And let's pull out me pistol, stick in me Van de Graaff generator, and stun.
Sounds painful.
What we're going to do, I think we'll have a large burst template. In fact, we might actually get away with a medium one. Oh, so medium burst template. And I think we'll make it medium burst, we'll make it fatigue. And just for add insult to injury, 8 inches. We're going to make it double range. Yeah, so a medium burst, double range. That causes fatigue. Might probably be the same for us, but nothing. In for a penny, in for a pound. Oh! Don't stand next to a big metal object, is the answer.
Mm.
Okie dokie, roll 2d6.
So they all have to make a vigor roll at the
Roll 2d6. Oh, you're doing stun. I thought you were doing
doing stun. They all have to make.
I apologise.
I was going to scatter the thing. No, I'm going to go and try and put them down, but the 2 of them are wild cards. But it would stop her. It would stop her casting any, because otherwise I would just blow her back and she'd keep casting spells. But if I knock her unconscious, that's her. Oh, look at that!
She's okay.
She's okay.
The panicked one.
Failed miserably.
Actually, he's not the panicked one. I thought he was. If he was, he's just stunned now.
So, so he's failed.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, he's made it. He's made it. He's got the 4.
Mm-hmm. Only one is affected. But the one that's affected is fatigued as well, isn't he?
Yes.
He's stunned, distracted, prone, and fatigued. Okie dokie. Is that the end? That was the
You
end.
got cover now that he's been knocked out from away from that cart?
I didn't give him cover anyway, did I?
Well, he's prone, so be it -4 to shoot him because he's prone.
Yeah, he's prone.
Oh,
but
right,
that's
he's
about
prone.
it, yeah.
Okay, right.
Just okay. So round number 2 starts with the baddie getting a joker. That is unfortunate, really, isn't it?
Yeah, especially since she's got the burst power. So it's all down to you now, then, Sophia.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna do here.
Just one more penny.
I'm trying to remember what adventure cards have been played.
Epiphany.
It depends if she casts something with a saving throw or not.
Right. Okay. So, first action.
It just the ones that I have had originally. No other cards.
Oh, bugger!
Oh, good.
Yeah, that so she tries to cast a spell and she leans on the metal thingy and it goes bang because it's still got a charge in it.
Background.
I wasn't asked.
Ooh. Bearing in mind, just so you know, Mercy, you in Aspen you get a free reroll any failed spellcasting rolls.
What?
I'll just take the penny.
In Aspen, which is where you currently are, you get a free reroll on any failed spellcasting rolls due to the fear level.
Well, I haven't failed yet, but she has.
Yeah, but she crit fails, so she doesn't get a free reroll, does she?
No, and if she has the same penalty I do, she should be picking up some corruption right about there. She probably as corrupt as they come already, but
I was just reading. And each product corruption gives you money and well, they've already become. So yeah, actually, there's no backlash for her being an evil NPC, is there? It's the backlash is just for your. A backlash. A critical failure causes a level of fatigue and all powers are terminated and gives the witch a power of corruption. So she suffers a point of fatigue. So that was her first action. As her second action, she's going to get very angry and try again. Successfully cast. Section of herself. You can get the raise, so she gets to choose though, doesn't she? She'll choose that one, and that will cost her 3 more power points. And she'll spend the bennies she just got from her to give her power points. Okay, and then she's going to move to there and clear her targets. The amazing Adolfo.
I'm going to look at Will Money, take the brake off this cart that we're next to, and say, when you nod, I'll push forward, and then I'll go on hold.
You want high or low? Patrick.
Hi.
Okay. Gradient's that way. It's 50-50. Just means you'll have to push harder.
I just paid an adventure card, double dealing, but I'll just take the extra penny that it gives out.
You have 2 additional hold cards to draw, or draw 2 extra cards when dealing with the devil. You can play this card in time to gain a Benny instead. Well, of course you can have a Benny instead. It's all yours. There you go, Mr. Money. That's quite nice for. Yeah, it's quite nice for hucksters. That one. You know, someone hasn't let the devil out yet. I mean, wait. It's really interesting with that. Okie dokie. Juan is up next.
Okay, well, Juan was going to head that direction to go take on what was apparently the leaders, but there's been lots of ups and downs and backs and forth, so we're not. We're going to go this other direction. So if I stumble, I need a 5 on my run. Yeah, you know what? There's just enough stuff going on out there. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my drunken boxing on and then run and not get far enough.
Want to spend a penny on your run roll? You know I'm a nice like that.
I know you're nice like that. Actually, that may be far enough. Yeah, that should be far enough for me to poke him.
You can push it to there. That's the limit of 8 inches.
I thought I had, but okay. Either way, I can still poke him. That's the important part.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's try that again. There we go.
Yeah, I think you can stop. Yeah.
I think you might have stabbed him. I don't
I think you may
know.
have skewered him. Got his lizard out, gizzard out, and his.
You stabbed him
Got
so hard,
his lizard out and his
gizzard
gizzard.
turned into a lizard.
Yeah,
You
and
made
he
his
got heart on
gizzard
a
turn
stick.
into a lizard. Indeed.
I
should
think what
let
you're
you.
trying to say is the buzzards will be fighting the lizards for your gizzards.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Dick Paulson runs forward to there, and then he throws something. It's an accurate throw. Medium burst template. Do you believe you will get a chance? Let's try that again because I can see where the circle is. Oh, I didn't delete the first one. That's interesting. I said I'd throw it to there. So Mercy's actually out of the blast area. But John Watt,
Do we get
William
to roll
Money,
evasion?
and the amazing Adolfo all get to make an evasion roll as the stick of dynamite comes whistling through the air towards you.
What's that? Athletics at -2.
Roll evasion. Roll
/ roll evasion. Yeah, / roll evasion is the easiest way to do it.
I don't know. You kids and your newfangled ways.
Yes, an agility check at -2.
Arse! Feck! Dynamite!
Can I request to interrupt?
Can I?
No, can I?
You haven't gone on hold yet. Unfortunately, it's not.
I just
Unfortunately, this is not super. This is not super. Not superpowers, so you can't.
no. I thought because it was on Will Money, I must have just been mistaken. No, I'm an idiot. I thought we were on a different person's go. I'm just going to shut up now. I blame lack of sleep.
I'll let you go with that blame. That's all right. Yes.
Well,
Very
that's
good,
good.
Lack
That's
of
bloody
sleep is
good,
always a
isn't
good
it?
excuse. Yeah.
So which way out of the circle are you dodging, Will?
I'm gonna dodge. I'm gonna roll backwards, pull my gun out, and shoot them. Zombie.
I don't know why those craters are transparent. It means I need to use 2 of them to actually have any effect. But there you go. Blam. Yeah. John Watt failed his athletics roll. John Watt failed his athletics.
Did you fail your reflex roll, John Watt?
You did.
John Watt is basically blown up into the air as the dynamite explodes, completely
That's
destroying
all.
the
That's all
wagon.
busted the first leg.
That's a wound.
Thank you for drinking. Now you're legless.
Aha. I think it's Benny's all round you fault. Very good.
So anyway, meanwhile, back at the OK Corral.
There we go. The truck is gone, but there's a lovely crater in its place.
Mm.
Are you soaking that, or are you taking the wound, Mr. Watson?
That's a good question. I'm going to soak that. There's a pause for a reason, but there you go.
You dive at the very last second and basically get showered in mud and dust and. John, what's up?
Fortunately, that leg will be the walking stick, won't it?
Mr. Watt, you're up next.
Well, that wasn't very nice, wasn't it? think what I will do is go there.
He's damaged the track, so he's happy anyway.
Go there. Effects. Effects. I will fall prone as part of my movement. And I will shoot the guy.
Okay. Yeah, I should have made him prone, actually.
In fact, I think I'll shoot him lots.
Lots, by all means, sir. It's a miss. That's a miss and a miss.
And maybe Benny that for a laugh.
That's a hit and 2 misses from your Gatling pistol.
So,
you need to get rock and roll, mate.
I know, but hang on, I'm only learning to walk, for Christ's sake.
Okay, he's shaken. And eventually, end your turn, it will be Mercy Vancouver's go. She recovers from being shaken.
No, she doesn't.
I don't know. No, I didn't. I'll have to. I
remain shaken. Sorry, you made a running roll. That's what threw me.
I'll spend the Benny to come unshaken now.
Okie dokie.
Put on the shaken, or do I drop it on the chat?
You drop either, but if you drop it on the shaken, it says you're spending ability to unshake. Or if you drop it on the chat, I just manually turn off the shake. I don't mind.
Okay, I'm not shaken, and I ran 11. That bitch
One
went.
side up for Thursday, so I don't think it's happening. Yep, go for it. Run for 11.
And I know they went in there somewhere, and I know this will hit anything inside those bushes.
Hang on, you were up there a second. You've jump back. It's okay. Okay, you hit both.
I hit them both with the rib.
Hand your adventure cards because it might be useful.
Oh yeah, rolled up. Okay. Now Mercy Vancouver.
That's
just done
a lot
4
of that
wounds.
took to 23.
Yeah, hang on. Going up because she is in cover, so that does count as.
No, because this is an area of effective spell. That cover don't save her.
Oh, that counts as armor. In cover counts as armor against area effects. So
yeah, there's no penalty to hit, but it counts as armor.
She's hiding behind a tree trunk, so she actually has toughness 9, which means you've only done 3 wounds on her. I'm going to spend one of my bennies to attempt to try and soak some of that. I might spend another one of my bennies to try and soak some of that. That'd be 2 wounds. I'll spend one more of my bennies to see. No, it looks like she's going to take 2 wounds. Taking 2 wounds. Bang. And the other dude.
I'm going to do the damage on the other guy, and I've reset my raise because I got a raise on him too.
Did indeed roll for damage. Even with the cover bonus he gets from being behind a tree, he's still incapacitated. Down he goes. Brings us to Sophia D.
To go on hold, and if at any point I see one of them lighting a stick of dynamite, I'm coming off hold.
Okie dokie. Mr. William Money, sir. Dusting the dirt and broken rail off you. Definitely should have remembered to put him prone. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not having that.
That is so unfortunate. That's such an unfortunate roll.
Oh, look at that. That was worth it.
I'm rolling doubles here.
Be careful, you'll end up in jail.
Yeah.
That was nearly an 8, but he takes a wound. The amazing Adolfo requests interrupt. That will be an opposed athletics check against a shoot 'em up gang member.
Okay. Guess they're going first.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Okay,
Try to
I'm going
interrupt and trip over your own.
yeah, that's
guts as they fall out.
that is the logical thing to say. Is obviously you will basically, yeah. Unfortunately, you can move. You've still got them. You might still have the movement, but unfortunately, I'm going to say yes. Literally, you do trip up.
Your hemorrhoids have kicked in.
That's fine.
Which does give you prone cover bonus, of course.
Mhm.
Okay, I get to shoot Wong and do enough damage to shake him.
Dodged a bullet.
He does. He's very good at dodging bullets. Okay, then we're on to the amazing Adolfo.
Well, I will get up,
Mhm.
go over to him.
Yep.
And try and knock him out
Okay.
because he's made me angry.
Gonna breathe on him.
Has he made you angry?
He has, yeah. Especially with the
Okay.
people poking fun at me when I critically failed and fell over there as well. That's upset me no end.
Is he not going to like you when you're angry?
You're not going to like
You're
him when
already
he's
starting
angry.
to go green underneath that jacket, and yeah, that's why you got to put the makeup on.
Okay, so I need to apply a certain effect to you. The effect is applied, and now I get to roll on a table.
You do?
Yeah, it's purple shorts
And
and
a
green
headache.
skin.
That's because I don't have the card. I do actually. I've actually got the physical cards, but
Me
I need
too.
to put them in artwork.
You haven't got the. What do you mean you haven't got the cards? Well, you've not made them as an extension for Fancy Grounds.
Actually, I could do it now with the card deck, but no. I've lost the bloody
Good,
table.
and stick it on the market and sell it. Make some money.
I can't because it uses someone else's extension. I had the table. I thought I had the table shortcutted, so in case I need it. Is it that
What
one?
uses something else's extension?
Woohoo!
Okay. All friends and foes within 5 inches of Amazing Adolfo get +2 to trait and damage rolls for the next 5 rounds. Those with an arcane background that use power points recover 10 power points. First of all,
What
the
if
raw
you're only
display
down by-
galvanizes the host will. You gain 1 point of dominion. Okay.
What if you're
So-
only down by 5 power points? You
You get all your
gain
power
one.
points. You go back up to your max. So unfortunately, oh hang on, that's 5 inches, not 10 inches. So yeah, basically, yeah, Mercy gets all the power points back.
And presumably I do as well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and that's in addition to.
Plus two to all trait and damage rolls for the next round. By the way, I gave you an adventure card which does the same.
Did you
Next
increase
5
your
rounds.
dominion? Did you increase your dominion already?
I have, yes, because it starts
As
equal
your
to my
spirits,
spirit.
yes, that's what I figured. Yeah,
So it's
you do.
now got to roll my
Trait and
spirit.
damage roll.
Right, well, I was going for a knockout blow. I did put the -4 in for the headshot.
Yep.
So I've hit him on the head. So I'll now add an extra +2 to my damage, and then a +4 for the headshot.
Yeah, and the letting the devil out bit's already. It will.
Yeah, that's already in there. So this damage is resisted by a vigor roll from him, and he gets knocked out if it fails.
You have to have a drop on them.
or they'll be shaken, I believe.
Think it matters.
It does, because there's a difference
Well-
between causing damage and knocking him out.
Well, I was going for non-lethal damage anyway, so I'm whacking him with the butt of my sword cane.
Oh, fair enough.
So-
Then non-lethal. That's fair enough.
It might be academic because he's used to taking 4 wounds.
Well, it's
I
still
know.
non-lethal damage.
Still non-lethal, which just means. That's interesting. The index at the back of the Suede book is absolutely horrific.
Use a reference manual built into Fantasy Grounds and just type search and it'll show you whatever you're looking for.
Oh, but I like books. What's the point of having? What's the point of having trees murdered if you can't use them?
Yeah, I thought you just used the PDF and just search the PDF. That's what I'm doing.
Well, yeah. Search the PDF might be the way to go, but basically, the index at the back of the original printing of the book is terrible. I don't think
Yes,
any of
it
them
is
are right.
very bad.
Oh, we don't use Pinnacle's printed books. I mean,
They just sit on the shelf looking pretty. That's all they're for.
yes, they're decoration.
Actually, I take it back. It's just knockout blows hidden away under the drop, which I didn't notice in the book. If the character takes enough damage to be shaken or worse from an attack with the drop on him, he must make a vigor roll. -2 to the head or be knocked unconscious. So yeah, so
Okay.
you didn't get the drop on him, but it doesn't
I'm
matter.
not-
You're doing
I was
a
doing
non-lethal attack.
non-lethal anyway.
Exactly. He will attempt to not be knocked unconscious by that, which isn't going to make any difference. I need to mark that damage as non-lethal and then apply it. As Dick Paulson is knocked out. So actually, your net result is correct. You did knock him out. It's it's a bit of technicalities, isn't it? Okay, that means I move back down to the shoot 'em up gang, and that is shoot 'em up gang member. He's already been
The guy who shot the one,
Yeah.
he's had his go.
Okay, he remains stunned. This guy gets to make a spirit check. He recovers from being panicked, and he advances to there. And as so doing, as he advances to there, he basically you see Sophia, you see him striking a match on the wagon as he walks along it, and starts moving the wagon to the wick on
That's
the
a hint for you to interrupt.
stick of dynamite he's holding.
Let me just shout upstairs to them. Can you not hear about the dynamite, dear?
Too little sleep. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot it out of the air.
Okay, so this chap over here, as he walked along the wagon, he struck a match on the side of the wagon, and he's about to light the stick of dynamite. I'll probably throw it at one.
I think I'm gonna have to move there to see him.
You can now see him. He's at that distance. He's probably medium range if you've got a pistol.
It's a bow.
A bow. Okay, it's probably
And
still
I'm
medium
shooting
range.
the wrist. I'm shooting the tendons of the wrist that's holding the dynamite.
That's a called shot -4.
She's shooting the tendons, not just the wrist. She's shooting the tendons of the wrist. That's -15.
I'm being generous.
6.
Be -6, but I'm being generous because it's already going to be -6 with the range. You might want to use your conviction there. Yeah, good point.
In that.
Okie dokie. There's a 6 in that one. That's the hit.
You severed the ligament.
Okay, you get to roll the damage. which is wound, which means I do believe that counts as disarm. Well, it doesn't necessarily. It doesn't really matter because we're going to have some fun here, aren't we? Obviously, you've skewered him quite impressively. However, that's the least of his
Because
worries.
dynamite's in his hand as he throws it, because it's got an arrow stuck through his wrist into the
That's the-
dynamite, holding it
that's
in
the-
place.
Right, let me as there, like so. Just make my life easier. Then I can remove the blast template because that tells me how big it was. Then I can drop the 2d6 dynamite at his feet. So the dynamite, believe it or not, the fact he's bleeding out from the arterial arrow as the dynamite blows him into the air in an arterial spray, and he lands it.
Yeah, how far did it blow him?
Okay, that brings us to. That's the end of the round, I think. Only one way to find out.
Mm.
Sophia D should not be on hold because she came off hold, so let's deal her a card. Shoot him up. Incapacitated, shoot him up. Well, he should have got. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah, shouldn't have got a card. I should have. Oh, well. Means someone else could have got the Joker.
I
You
think
know
you
what?
should spend the penny you just got.
I think I'm going to be very, very, very nice. Oh, the deck thing's broken again. It worked last week. That's interesting. That is interesting. Decked out's gone. Yeah, decked out was working last week. It's broken again now.
Yeah, I might have broken it when I joined the game. So because when you log in, if you haven't picked your character yet, the decked out box is visible. And if you go in and you throw away your cards that you don't have, it throws an unhandled exception.
You broke my deck, so I can't.
You broke it.
I can't give Sophia the Joker.
And it throws an unhandled exception. And
Oh,
it,
you
it-
can be
I'm sorry.
sweet.
I'm sorry, I can't give Sophia the Joker, which means you can't all have bennies because someone broke the deck.
yeah, so if you look at the very first comment on chat, if you scroll right up to the very, very top, it says, "Amazing Adolfo discards his hand." That was me.
Okay. Broke it all. Okay, no problem. What's the price you pay for using multiple decks in the same thing? Anyway, Juan has the Joker and is no longer shaken. And he's looking at a crater where a bloke was standing just.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one's
if you-
doing a couple different things here.
So what you want to do is if you open up the deck of cards you've got and then discard from it, it'll throw an exception.
But why is it saying I've done it?
I don't know. I don't think the fact that I can make your name appear, I've got no idea.
Oh no, that's not where I wanted to
Kind of
go.
magic.
I was measuring.
They use the measuring 2 mouse buttons, sir. Ooh, everyone stop trying to
Okay,
break my
I will move 1 inch to there.
Yep.
And poke this guy with my stick.
Okay.
And then I will stumble my last 3 inches to the pit. And I'll kind of look down at the gibs that are all laying there.
Sorry, I got distracted by the shortcut that I hadn't noticed. Okay. Where are we? That brings us Ooh, Sophia D.
Okay. Seriously. Oh, by the way, I want to keep my conviction running. Do you want a Benny for that now?
You
Please.
should report that lone wolf in the thread for Deck Tower.
Should, yes.
I was kind of hoping to go further than that, but never mind.
You can spend a penny and re-roll if you want.
Yeah, that's a
No,
re-roll run.
In my
You
rules,
are
you are.
in Kevin's games, yeah.
By the rules, no, but by my rules, yes. So you can get another 2 inches.
Thank you kindly.
I even have another rule. If you spend a penny and get 1 again, you get to add the 2 ones together.
Oh, you sweetie.
2 halves.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still one.
Oh, but tish. Give you one for that. That was good. I like that. The arrows fly straight towards you and then swerve around her at the last second.
Fair enough. Never mind.
Somebody got the thread. Where's the thread for Deck Tower?
It's rather nice that he also put a link. I must admit, I like the fact that the guy who does the advanced planners put the button in. When you click it, it takes you straight to the thread. That's a nice touch. Be nice if other people did that. Okay, right. It's my go. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to do this, aren't I? Really? Yeah, I'm going to have to do that.
That looked rude to me.
So that would be. I'm going to go. I'm going to. She's in a bad way. You lot are advancing very scarily towards her, so she's not very happy. So she's going to go all out here. So that's going to be +1 for the extra area of effect, +3 for the extra damage.
She needs another crit fail.
+5 for fatigue. And let's make it +7 for lingering damage and +8 for range. Yeah, so she's spending 8 power points on this blast. Those black writhing tentacles are going to be summoned forth again.
DM'd you the link, Lone Wolf.
Successful casting, but it misses. William Money no longer is in cover, so I will obviously Benny that. William Money is no longer in cover. Successful casting, so it would cost her the power point. But you. Oh no, she rolled a 2 after all that, wasn't it? Well, let's spend a Benny. I've got 3 bennies, so let's spend 1. I've got 2 bennies, so let's spend. I've got 2 bennies, so let's spend 1. The GM's got 5 bennies, so let's spend 1. Okay, it was obviously not to be.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Okay, William Money and Mercy Vancouver are hit. Sophia D dives to the side at the last second, and John Watt, being prone behind that rock, is completely shielded from the tentacles.
Not
And
more
that-
festivals.
Okay, so that's 3d6 damage on Mercy Vancouver, shaking her, with lingering damage of 3d4. Next round. And that also brings us to, and then I get to the end, don't I? Slash EMG 3d6. This is easy to do that. Oh dear, William Money's getting really hit hard. William Money has a toughness 19 damage on William Money, which gets toughness 5 beats. He takes 3 wounds. I feel rather amusing seeing he laughs. He laughed very fun. He laughed scathingly at her, so she hit a hard tentacle.
Motherfucker.
Oh, I was going to give you a penny, and then you went and turned the air blue. So I'm going to give you one anyway. Okay, that
Did the air go blue?
joking. The amazing Adolfo is up next.
Right, I would like to kneel down and slap shoot about Dick Paulson round the face to make him conscious. He's still incapacitated, but I want him to be conscious enough that I can speak to him and ask him questions. Would that be a healing roll?
Yes, sounds good to me.
Okay.
That's successful.
Okay, so I'll be able to talk to him next round.
Indeed.
But I'll slap him around and say, "Wake up, you fecker! I need to know who you're working for."
Mercy Vancouver should have been shaken, but I forgot to.
And it didn't, yeah, because it didn't roll me to give me
It
the
didn't-
chance.
no, I
to
know.
come on.
So you do remain being shaken, I'm afraid, unless you want to spend another one of your precious bennies to remove.
Let me see how far off she is. I'm not able to target her so that I can see how far away she is.
Okay, so it shows. So
Okay,
you've got
7. So I'm
yeah.
gonna have to run.
When does
Oh, before I charge into those woods with my Bowie knife in hand to stab the hell out of this bitch, let me play
Doesn't
something.
lingering damage take? Is it lingering damage at the start or the end of the turn?
It's the end of the turn. And I didn't add my +2 that I'm supposed to get, but so I'll get a total of +4 on damage here.
Hold
If I hit
fire.
her.
Yeah, you do still.
I'm able to get up to her with my run.
Yeah, but you won't get a +2 bonus from Amazing Adolfo from your run. You're now out of range of him.
Okay, well.
But it lasts for 5 rounds. It doesn't say anything about being in range. It just says it lasts for 5 rounds.
It does say range. It's got a 5-inch range.
Right. Receive
One
this
within the
bonus
5-inch
for
range
5
gets
rounds.
this for 5 rounds. It doesn't say they've got to stay in the range. They just get the boost.
Oh, okay. Point taken. Okay, I accept that one.
Now, will the +2 on the card that I played go automatically?
No.
Probably not.
Then I need to put in +4.
Just put in +2. I've done the trait one for you.
Let me first do the attack roll.
John Watt's the only other person who benefits from that, isn't it?
Now I get the +4.
Oh, damn it. Did I put a dot rather than a comma?
I think you did put full stop. Yeah.
No, I
15.
think I'm going to re-roll that one time because with a +4 on damage, I should be able to slit her throat.
Go for it. I think she might be very dead at this point. 3 wounds. She's got 1 Benny left. She'll spend her very last Benny in a desperate attempt to die. And critically fail.
Dying. Excellent.
That's
Got that?
fatal. That's bye.
She's bleeding out. Let's leave it at that. Okay. Well, at which point I think everyone's going to surrender. Pretty much. So give me.
I'd quite like to persuade Shoot 'em Up Dick Paulson to tell me everything, who he's working for, who
Make
hired
an
him.
intimidation or persuasion roll.
I'll go with persuasion, I think.
Okay.
Oh, try that again, I think.
I think I'll try that again.
Can I support him first?
I don't think you need to.
Oh well, I'm just standing. I'm going to get my electrical things.
Right. Okay. Well, obviously,
No.
having made
Technically
the
working for.
indeed, and you have most successfully intimidated him. However, I think that's leave it this week. So
Just before
very
you
much
finish,
one-
because
yes.
we'll lose the card. Who are we looking for right now? In the meanwhile, back at the other town, who are we looking for? Nobody
Bullock.
did you not hear me?
Bud Bullock.
Reed.
So where is he then? So when we clear up here, we can immediately go and get him, can't we? Or do we need to find him?
You can find him.
Yeah.
No, we don't. What happens if we smoke a really big joint and think about it for a while? And have dividation.
Ruby.
Mr. Money, get your ass over here.
Right, anyway, I need to go, guys. So I'm going to leave you to it at this point.
Well,
Yeah, so
Have fun.
yeah, so
before you go,
I'm
when Will Money comes over, I grab hold of him and say, "That is not an injury, all right?" And slap him really hard round the face. And he's got a nasty scar, but he's not bothered by the 2 wounds.
By the way, if this is something of import that we've just completed, I'd like us all to get another point of conviction.
It is, unfortunately, I don't think.
Damn.
I've got a hot iron and whiskey now, -2 persuasion, is it?
For the next month, but your 2 wounds are healed.
Can I go now?
You can go.
Yeah,
now.
right.
So, yeah, so I've just
don't mean
to
that
let you
like
know,
that,
I've just
I'm just-
I've cast divination
I know,
to
I know you
ask
have,
the
I know you have.
spirits where he is hiding.
Well, yes. But why have all the adventures you get along the way and just skip it all? Yeah, fine, whatever.
At least you know what maps you need.
I knew what maps I needed anyway. I just didn't know this one. Okay, I have lost the basic. Okay, yeah. Okay, right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm keen to you to it, guys. I had a lot of fun. Bye now.